And welcome back, everyone. Welcome back to the grand finals of the PiGosaur Monday number 7. It's been an intense tournament so far already. Many players have rocked up, many players have fallen, but now we have our final two. We have a Protoss and a Zerg, and spawning in the bottom left-hand corner of Amygdala, we have the Danish Protoss player, the red Protoss representing Storm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And wait, I haven't fixed. No, God, I noticed too late. Spawning in the top right hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the blue Zerg representing Gammon Gladiators. It is SHIN. Why has no one noticed and no one brought up that the intros have been wrong? God damn it. Hold on, I'll fix that up. But I do apologize. It looks like I just noticed that the intros have been wrong the entire day. It is something that we have to do for the PTR, so I do apologize for that. But it will be fixed for game 2 at least. It will be fixed for game 2, don't you worry. As if you're in the chats, get your gambler going. Predictions open, place your bets on who you believe will take the series. Best of luck. Best of luck in the chat. As we are going to be settling in. Coming into this, MaxPax is going to be favored. He's going to be favored in this series. We have seen SHIN take series in the past. Has taken maps, has taken series. But it is going to be an uphill battle for the Zerg player. We'll see if he can take it to MaxPax. We'll see if he can bring it home. Or if the favored player will take it instead. But now, gate expands. Standard opener here out of MaxPax. Likewise, SHIN opening up Hatch Gas Pool. So far, so good. We do settle in. Now, we have seen SHIN embrace Swarmhost play last night and this morning, both times against Trap. I would not be surprised if he does do it once in this best of 5. At one point, going into Ling, Roach Ravager, into Swarmhost Harass. It does feel like it's something quite trendy here for SHIN that he does like to mix in. Outside of that, we have seen SHIN, of course, embrace Mutas in this matchup. We've seen him go for these Roach All-ins. I mean, we saw it earlier as well. He can cut workers and commit. I don't think this is necessarily the best map for it, but we'll see. We'll see what SHIN does go for. As he's going to be saturating his bases. Back at home, we have our take of choice. Going to be a Stargate opener for MaxPax. Is going to be Stargate. Here we go. As we are going to be moving out. Meanwhile, third base on the way for SHIN. He's getting to his third. And the Lings do move out across the map. Their goal here is to try to slip by, to try to slip in, and get some economic damage here. I mean, the Adept does move out. Back at home, what is it to defend? Stalker is on the way, but the Lings, they have arrived. And they will slip in. There is nothing in the wall. The wall is open. Probes are exposed. There's that recall here for the Adept. Adept does recall back home. Into the main. Lings, they do peel off. They're headed for the mineral line. So far, MaxPax does react well. He hasn't lost a single probe yet, and the Lings are forced out. Now, this did do some in-run damage. This did force the workers off the mineral line, and it did force a recall for this Adept. So damage was done, but I'm sure that SHIN was hoping for a little bit more. As he did not kill a single probe. Didn't kill any workers. Meanwhile, here in the main, just saturating his bases, getting to his spore. That's an... interesting. Okay. Is a very early spore here for SHIN. Does finish up in the main, but I did notice that he was a little bit supply block here, so his queen production is delayed. Oof. And we're losing another overlord as well, so brutal supply block for SHIN does delay queen production, and that will impact his oracle defense. As the oracles are moving out, and they do threaten the third. This is some lava going down. SHIN getting to his Evo chamber. Ooh, that is an Evo chamber hidden behind the mineral line. SHIN, what is our plan here? Do we plan on going into +1 melee into Ling, Bane, Hydra? I'm leaning towards melee for that Evo chamber. No reason to have it that early on. That would signify that SHIN intends on skipping roaches. Yep, there it is. Baneling Nest into +1 melee. He's skipping roaches, going into Ling Bane, into eventually Hydra. So SHIN is cutting corners. Speaking of cutting corners, oh my god, we're rushing into Skytoss. MaxPax, he's rushing into a fleet. He can rush into a second Stargate. He's rushing into Skytoss of all things. Now, this could be a double-edged sword. As Lings, they do hit the third, Adepts are in position, MaxPax does defend. What I'm getting at is that because Shin should be skipping Roaches and should be going into a lair, into Hydras, then he will have a Hydra production, of course, to deal with the upcoming Tempest or Carrier. But I'm getting ahead of myself. There's no lair. There is no lair. There are no extra gases. There is no hydrogen. We are amassing Lings, and Shin is going for a bust. He's going for a +1 melee Ling Bane bust against a Carrier Rush. Interesting. So, on the one hand, the ground army for MaxPax is lacking. True. The ground army is lacking, and because of that, carriers that don't really have the highest attack rates, they're not ideal when it comes to dealing with Mass Ling Bane. There is potential. There is potential for MaxPax to cripple the economy, specifically of MaxPax. I do worry about the aftermath. I do worry about the carrier counterattack because there's no lair, right? I mean, it's all in, right? Shin is all in. It's all or nothing. Adepts, they commit to the shade, and Shin, he moves out. Oh, but the Adepts, they trade well against the Lings. So many Lings are falling. Banelings, they do get across the map. MaxPax, he does pull away in time. Good reaction. And Banelings, they don't really get much here. They get the shield battery. Not much else. Lings, they will Adepts, they will defend. Sorry, I should say Oracles will defend. Lings, they do get the third, though. And now we have a lair on the way. It's such a late lair. Oof. Yeah, this is not worth it. If Shin got the mineral line, then I would think better of it. I would be like, okay, you know, he gets the mineral line, he gets the base, he cripples the economy. But he didn't, is the problem. The workers survived, and now MaxPax is long distance mining. The Oracles, they shut everything down, and now here comes the counterattack. And how many queens does Shin have to defend? 5. 5 queens to defend, that's not a lot to work with here. And MaxPax may just run away with this. We'll see. Lings, they threaten to run by, but there are Oracles to defend. The Oracles, they're perfect for this. They will shut this down. Carriers, they are at least going to deny the expansion. Queens are going to try to respond. There's no transfuse here. There's a transfuse towards the end, thankfully. Up! 1 queen goes down. We're down to 5. Spores are pushing forward. There's now 1 transfuse available. True. He's going for the hydrogen queen. Another queen goes down. And another. That's 3 queens. Yeah, we just don't have enough. Yeah, the queens are falling one after another. There's 3 queens left. And these carriers are safe and sound. They take down 1 spore, take down the other. And MaxPax, he's snowballing out of control from here. Getting every single queen. Ay, ay, ay. Again, 5 queens was not enough. Shinny's trying to hold on at the same time, going for a Ling run by, but the Oracles are chilling. And I mean, that's the risk you take when you go for an all-in like that. You know, Shinny did commit to the Ling Bane all-in. That was on Shin. He does get into the mineral. Oh my god. Does get into the mineral line. 22 probes going down. Not bad. MaxPax a little bit lax in this defense. He did react late. It was a late reaction, but I mean, it may not matter. It may not matter as these carriers, they're just wreaking havoc. Corruptors are on the way. True. Shin does have Corruptors in production. And Shin did preserve most of his drones. But MaxPax, he can always recall. And he kills the third. Oof. Kills the third base as well. Moving towards the natural. There's 1 queen to defend. The Corruptors have arrived. And where's that recall? Oh, he's not going to. There we go. There's the recall. 1, 2 carriers fall. But Shin, he's on a 2-base economy. He's stuck on 2 bases. And MaxPax, he's done with Skytoss. I mean, he still has 4 carriers, but he's switching into +1 in charge. Gateways, charge, Archon production with the Temple Archives. Like, MaxPax, he's still looking fine. Yeah, Corruptors, they can't really touch this army. They have to pull away. Oracles, yeah, they get across the map. The writing was on the wall, and MaxPax takes game number 1. GG. GG, well played. Both players kind of rolled the dice, basically. Both players gambled, both players rolled the dice. SHIN was going for an unscouted hatch-based Lingbane all-in. Meanwhile, MaxPax was going for unscouted carrier rush. And alas, MaxPax, even though he did lose a lot of workers towards the end there, he had a very nice early game defense. Sure, he lost the third base, but that didn't matter. Losing the third base did not matter. He maintained his probe count, and he of course had those carriers to counterattack as well. With that, he snowballed out of control, and MaxPax takes game 1. A very unique game 1, but game 1 nonetheless. Does take it. Here we go. Remember when King Cobra beat Clem? Yeah, he's the GOAT, mate. What do you mean? King GOAT himself? Oh my god. Here we go. But now we're getting into game number 2. And we have a map of choice. It's going to be on Hecate. Let's go. Now, for those that are curious, the map pool for a lot of these open tournaments do include Hecate. Hecate is not a new map, and it is not an upcoming map in the new map pool either. The reason why it was chosen is because, one, there are only 6 maps. There are only 6 new maps, so we need a 7th map for a best of 7, of course, for the veto process, so a new map was necessary. And we did not want to use a current map in the map pool, otherwise everyone would play on it. So we didn't want to like incorporate Site Delta or Amphion or Oceanborn or Alcyone. Otherwise it would just make it through the veto process every time, because everyone would want to play on a more comfortable map that they're used to. So this map was chosen instead. So basically, this is a filler map. Is a filler map. And here we go. We're getting into game number 2. And spawning in the top right-hand corner of Hecate, we have the Danish Protoss player, the red Protoss, representing Psystorm Gaming. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have his opponent. We have the South Korean Zerg player, the blue Zerg, representing Gaiman Gladiators. It is SHIN. If this strat is actually legit, then I hope they nerf carriers. I mean, carrier rushes like that have been around for a very long time. They rose in popularity during the Void Ray era of StarCraft, if you recall. This, or the Skytoss era of StarCraft. This is like back in, what, 2019, 2020, 2021? Before the Void Ray nerf, when Void Ray openers were commonplace, and you'd often see Void Ray into carrier. It was a dark time in StarCraft history, let me tell you. When Mass Void Ray and Skytoss was far easier to get into. Eventually got nerfed. Specifically what was nerfed was Void Rays and the Shield Battery. Shield Battery was also nerfed as well, which did put an end to that. And it led into the eventual hero style of Oracle into Blinkstalker. That was like in 2020, end of 2021 into 2022, I want to say, around that era. But yeah, carrier rushes have been around for a long time. Very long time. And again, because SHIN was going for a hatch-based all-in, he had no lair, which means he had no anti-air, right? The Spire was heavily delayed because of the hatch-based all-in that SHIN had. So it all kind of played into itself as to how and why MaxPax snowballed out of control. It's important to bear that in mind. Is that SHIN had failed an all-in, basically. For now, though, we're settling in. Is going to be another Stargate opener for MaxPax. March 2022. Yeah, that's it. So early 2022 is when that ended. Voter Air was August 2020 to March 20. Yeah. That's the period in history that we want to erase. That's aye. Dark times. Oh boy, I still have PTSD. Not gonna lie. The Void Ray meta. King Herbert beat Clem during that period. Yeah. That makes sense. COVID and Void Rays. They did come hand in hand. Yo, coincidence? Were Void Rays Is that... Is that what began COVID? Confirmed. True. It was Protoss all along, and their Void Rays. Smoge. As we're settling in. We're settling into our game. Do you have MaxPax opening up Oracle into a third? Likewise, SHIN getting into his 3-way saturation as well. It's going to be on SHIN to maintain himself. Double Adept heading towards the natural. Clearing up some creep. MaxPax does rotate. So far, no big commitments. Sorry, Light, you know too much. Oh no. Oh no. The Protoss Cabal, they're coming for me. Oh no. It's over. As Oracles, they do hit the third. So far, going for the Queen. And one Queen is going to go down. Massive pickup. Queen falls. SHIN likewise did shut down the Adepts, going for a counterattack. Third base is exposed. I say that. 2 Adepts in position. MaxPax is safe and sound. He does defend. Don't blame the toss. The Void Rays are only there to protect the spread of the biological threat. That's like a... Isn't that like a mission in... Ooh. Is it in Wings of Liberty, right? Where I want to say the Protoss, they're going to like cleanse a planet because there's like a zombie infestation, right? They're gonna like completely just obliterate it, and as Raynor, you're trying to like evacuate in time. Yeah. That is a campaign mission. Where you have to save people from the Protoss because they're coming in. They're just gonna like laser everything. Oh no. It's in the lore. For now though, we are of course embracing the mid game. There was some nice harass early on by MaxPax to snipe the initial Queen to get the Lings as well, but no major economic damage outside of that. Likewise, SHIN isn't able to counterattack, is threatening the third base, but MaxPax, he is safe and sound. Behind this, Blink and +1, this time a standard follow-up. Is going to be a much more standard into not Colossus, into Storm. Now this has become a lot more popular in the new patch. I mean, even in the lead up to new patch, even in the months coming into EWC and post EWC, Colossus have fallen off. So Blink Storm into Colossus has fallen off here as opposed to the start of the year. Now more Archon and Storm heavy instead. And especially with the NG overcharge change, this has been buffed. As now you have that many more Storms to work with. So this is going to be into Archon and Storm. Meanwhile, we do see SHIN embracing Lingbane Hydra. So far, MaxPax flying for map control. He has the Oracles to support just in case there's a Lynx around. They are there to help deal with those Lings. As Stalkers, they deny the creep. They're going for the Queens. Oh, the Queens are exposed. The Overlords as well. He gets one, he gets two, he locks him down. All 3 Queens do get picked off. Massive catch here from MaxPax. Ling Hydra does collapse in, but MaxPax, he can always blink away. Blink finishing up in 5 seconds. Barely not in time. Stasis gets baited out. But SHIN, he cannot engage with his army. Not with the Oracles. Not with them above it. Instead, going for a counterattack. Going for a run-by. SHIN goes to the run-by. He's building up here back at home. Cutting workers at 70. Focusing on Roach Hydra, actually. Okay. Going for the Roaches. Lings, they do hit the 4th. And can they force a cancel? It's going to be close at the same time. SHIN trying to come in for a surround, but he gets caught out. Stasis goes off. These are slow Hydras. They're having a hard time keeping up. And the 4th base is saved. The Oracle came back home. The Oracle did defend. SHIN is committing. SHIN still not saturating that 4th base. Still on 70 workers. Is taking though. Getting into a hive, getting into lurkers. SHIN does get us around, forces a recall. Gets 1, gets 2 stalkers, 3. Does catch 3 stalkers, not bad. As SHIN, he does commit. Again, cutting workers early on, brings down the fourth base, and can SHIN break the army? Storm is ready. Storms are ready. They do collapse here up on the roaches. A lot of storms coming in, but the High Templar, they go down. And it looks like SHIN, he might have enough. He's breaking through, takes down the Stalkers, gets on top of the Archon as well. And MaxPax, he needs more time. Immortal Production's on the way. It's not going to be here in time, though. Cybercore goes down, no more Stalkers. Oh, the Stasis, though, gets baited out. Robo goes down, no Immortal. And SHIN has done it. SHIN, he has done it. He has broken through. He has broken the natural base of MaxPax. Again, it was pretty committed. It was pretty committed there. Just cutting workers early on. Purely into Roach Hydra. Kills the natural. Breaking the main is going to be difficult, but he doesn't have to. He can just rotate over towards the third. And kill the third instead. Does start a step forward. Takes down the cannons. And again, MaxPax just barely was not ready for this. Storms, they graze the army, but no major connections. As SHIN, he's making a series out of this. Again, we said before that we have seen SHIN take maps and take series plenty of times against MaxPax. Still not favored, but he's making a series out of this, and that's what matters most. GG gets called, and SHIN ties it up. GG. Does tie up the series here. MaxPax core with his pants down, was being active with his Stalkers, true, was being active with them, but was slowly working towards his Immortal Tech, his Robo Tech in general. Storm is amazing against Lingbane Hydra, but remember, it wasn't Lingbane Hydra, it was Roach Hydra instead. Roaches are amassing, they can tank those Storms, in general, good at tanking. And SHIN does take it. And now we have a back and forth, and we're getting into Game 3, and I'm shocked this map was not vetoed. Game 3, for the first time tonight, El Dorado. El Dorado, this map is the most vetoed map in the new map pool. We very rarely get to experience El Dorado, but we're here now in the best of 5. I do appreciate it. If you haven't seen El Dorado yet, it is like a smaller version of Golden Wall. It is a much shorter rush distance by ground map. It is much smaller, much more compact. But there's a lot of gold. There's a lot of gold bases. There's an entire portion of the map that is sectioned off by mineral walls as well. And I'm curious how our players will approach this. I would not be opposed to, I was gonna say even like a more Skytoss heavy early game if Max actually were to be more defensive. I'm curious. I'm curious how MaxPax will approach this. Clearly showing us that he is willing to do something crazy like rush into carrier and play more unorthodox. He doesn't have to play standard. Here we go. MaxPax played El Dorado versus Solar Map 1. Oh, okay. Interesting. So, yeah, interesting that they haven't vetoed it there. Interesting. Alright, it didn't happen on stream here, so it didn't happen. It's fine. We go. I like going carries in Wings of Liberty when it was basically inting. It lost its charm when they became good though. Oh no. It became too mainstream. You can choose to help the Protoss or help the Infested Terrans. Yeah. God, I haven't played through the campaign in a long time. Very long time. One day. I'm not one to like go achievement hunting, so I just like play through it once and that's it. Maybe one day would be fun. For now though, we're getting into game number 3 and spawning in the bottom right hand corner of El Dorado. We have the Danish Protoss player, the Red Protoss, representing Sidestorm Gaming, being forced into his Adab series. We'll see if we can bring it back. It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the South Korean Zerg player, the Blue Zerg, representing Gaiman Gladiators. Tying up the series in the last game, it is SHIN. Let's see if he can keep that momentum going, as welcome one and all to El Dorado. What do we have? We have gold bases. Oh, El Dorado pack. Let's go. We have gold bases here in the center, 2 gold bases here for each side, and 1 in the dead center of the map here. Now, we have seen a lot of Zerg players, I say Zerg because we have seen a lot of players expand southernly here, going for like the triangular third and taking the gold as a 4th base as well, depending on the matchup. So I'm curious, we've seen that from SHIN as well, curious if he'll do the same. Likewise, I wonder how MaxPax will approach this map as well. It is very unorthodox. Again, short rushes by ground. The gold base is obviously an option as well. Yeah, we'll see. I haven't seen too many games on this map, I'll be honest. I've seen like maybe 5. And the PTR's been live for like 2 months. We don't often see it. But now, Gate Expand. Gate Expand by MaxPax. I'm curious, so something important to take note here is that SHIN, he's quite fond of going Swarm Host, especially on certain maps. In the current map pool, I think of Amphion, right? When I think of Swarm Host, I think of Amphion predominantly, because of the short rush distance by ground and because of some of the attack paths. The other one that I think of is Crimson Court as well. Now, earlier today, we saw SHIN go Swarm Host on Ultra Love. I'm curious if this would be a tempting map for it, especially if MaxPax doesn't mine through these mineral patches. Going into like Nidus Swarm Host here I can see that being quite effective on El Dorado, similarly to how it is effective on Amphion, for example. So that's going to be in the back of my mind, at least, when casting SHIN. So we'll see. We shall see. I mean, even if MaxPax does mine through these patches and does take this 3rd base, then you can come in from the other side instead, right? And take advantage of the terrain. The downside, though, of the idea of rushing into Swarm Host on a map like this is because the rush distance by ground is short, that means that you are vulnerable to a counterattack, and they're going to be able to take advantage of that. Oh my god, SHIN, he does go for the gold! Okay. Again, we have seen gold take the gold base here from the southern side before, but usually it's as the 4th base, not as the 3rd. So bold move by SHIN. MaxPax does scout, does confirm. Obviously, you can punish this gold base by harassing from the other side of the wall. That is going to be available here to MaxPax. And we'll see if SHIN can hold. See if he can actually make use of this gold base. Okay, SHIN, you have my attention. You have my attention. But now, going for his spores. Building up more queens, and there it is! Twilight Council. It is going to be Stargate into Twilight Council from MaxPax. That is a Twilight Council before 3rd. This screams Glaive Adepts. As the Oracle does move out. This should be one of 2 things. I'm leaning heavily towards Glaive Adepts, but technically this could also be fast Twilight Council to defend against an all-in. But I don't know if that's really on the cards here from SHIN. As again, there is no Forge. Lings are checking for 3rd expansions. There is none, of course. And what do you have for us? Is it Glaives or is it Blink? Huh. As the Twilight Council is done, gas is available. He's going for Blink. Okay. So he's rushing into earlier Blink. Now, what does this mean? This means that if SHIN goes for a Roach all-in, and that is a Roach Warren on the way. If he goes for Roach all-in, oh, never mind. I was going to say that that MaxPax will finish up Blink in time to defend against the all-in, but no, he cancels, he changes his mind. It is going to be Glaives. It's going to be the more aggressive variation. So Glaive Adepts on the horizon for MaxPax. The goal here is going to be to harass and punish the mineral line. It is going to be for the mineral line. And to try to slow down the economy of SHIN. We'll see if he can. The downside here is that if MaxPax doesn't get economic damage with this, then he will fall behind. It will fall behind. As in the process of going into Glaives, what does this mean? It means a Blink is late. It means a +1 and upgrades are late as well. So this is a big investment for MaxPax. Adepts move out. They're spotted by the Lings. There's a big Protoss face. There is. Ah. The face of Protoss. It's MaxPax. Crazy. as the Adepts have arrived. They cancel the shade. They do get a couple of workers, not bad. 3 drones go down. 3 drones do fall. Stasis doesn't get baited. Oh, not yet. As there are still 2 more stasis traps behind this. Files do connect. They shut down the first stasis. Oh, the other. Oh my god, it pops off. Brutal connection. And that means SHIN cannot dive in. That means that Adepts, they can still hold their own. They get into the mineral line. More drones going down. They get another 2, another 3. Yeah, 6 drones in total. 6 drones do fall. More Adepts on the way. MaxPax, he catches a queen, and these are too many losses here for SHIN. Tries to surround, more stage traps going up. Adepts, they hold their own, and now MaxPax is working on that transition. Blink is on the way, Forge, and +1. Again, this is all delayed, but so far, MaxPax, he has traded well. He has traded well. He still has plenty of Adepts as well. He can commit. Doesn't quite go for the shade. He pulls back, playing it safe. As the dust settles, it was 7 drone kills, 28 lings, and a queen. So well worth of a MaxPax, especially considering he maintains the army. He still has a hefty Adept army that can support this. He's mining through the patches, and he's gaining access to the other side of the map. And I don't think SHIN is aware. Yeah, SHIN is out of position. MaxPax is pushing in. Lings, they do hit the 4th, but the 3rd base is under fire, and SHIN has to pull away. Yeah, the Roach Ravager on the other side. Was that a kill? Ooh, that was a kill! That was a kill, not a cancel on the hatch, on the Nexus. Massive pickup. Lings are still being active. Likewise, the 4th base goes down. I guess the 3rd. So what I'd shade in the Queens. Ooh, struggling to defend. 5 drone kills. It's going to be 3 base versus 3 base. SHIN, he's up against the wall. But he was able to make somewhat use of that gold, at least. Was able to pay for itself. Forces back the army. Lings, they attempted to surround, just wasn't quite able to. MaxPax does back up. He's trying to secure his expansion. He's there to secure. SHIN, he's cutting worker production. He's going for the surround. It looks like SHIN is going all in. SHIN is cutting workers at 65, sorry, at 55 even. He commits. Moving out across the map. And MaxPax, he has no splash damage, bear that in mind. Only Stalkers. That is a lot of Stalkers, though. Oh, Adepts, they bust into the middle line. Drones are going down. SHIN, he has to commit. He has to at least deny this expansion. And it looks like he should be able to. A couple more volleys. Adepts are shaded to the main. MaxPax double expanding. SHIN peels off a couple of links to defend. Oh, sorry, to attack. To hit the 5th. Likewise, nice Stalker control. Blinks away. Stasis goes off. And MaxPax, he's trading well. He's holding so far. We attempt this around. Stasis trap goes off. Only one of them, though. The other as well. The army gets zoned away. The base is going to fall. SHIN takes down top right. And the center base as well. 2 bases go down at the same time. Zealous, they do counterattack across the map. Plenty reinforcements. SHIN defends. Does defend back at home. And there's still no robot production. No Immortals, no Colossus, no Disruptors, no Storm. With only purely Stalkers, I think SHIN can do it. He can pull this off. Uh-oh. But he has to come back home. He is forced to turn around. Has to focus on defending. This is giving MaxPax a lot of time. If it wasn't for this Warp Prism. As MaxPax is building up his army, building up more Stalkers. SHIN trying to come in from behind. Still just committed. Again, SHIN's on 44 drones. Like, SHIN is completely all in. Brutal Stasis does connect. Roaches, they're somewhat trading here, but the Bay is on the way, and if we can get into Disruptors or Colossus, I mean, that's going to be game. SHIN can't really scale up to that. God, there are just so many stasis traps. The power of the energy overcharge. Another stasis going off. Not as impactful this time. The base is getting up and running. SHIN collapsing, and first Colossus is on the way. And SHIN's on a timer. He has to end it here and now. And getting on top of the Stalkers, pushing into the mineral line. Looks like he will get the expansion. Nice hold position micro. The Colossus, it's almost here. It's almost there. Base does go down. The other Nexus as well. MaxPax knocked down to 2 bases. SHIN, can he pull this off even with a Colossus? Pushing up the ramp though, it's not going to be easy. Colossus, there we go, it has arrived. SHIN has to respect it, he backs off. Going for the Colossus, no! Miscontrol the MaxPax, he rallies in! Colossus goes down. SHIN, he can still do this. No more Colossus. He has to stop the Stalkers. Oh my god, the stasis traps, they just keep popping up. Mate, the MVPs of this game have been the stasis traps, time and time again. Otherwise, SHIN would have had enough to break this. 100%. Stalkers are building up. SHIN, he's running out of steam. Yeah, he has to back off. He has to consolidate his army once again. Still a very tense game state. Zealots, they get across the map, trading with the Lings, with the drones even. MaxPax moving out. SHIN, can he keep up here? I mean, he does have the gold. The gold is putting in a lot of work, to be honest. This gold base is carrying SHIN in this game. As he's been all in for like, what, 5 minutes? Uh-oh. Gold base under fire. SHIN transit up the surround, unable to. Trading with the army. War Prism into the main. Still that same War Prism. With the one Zealot getting 4 drones. Oh my god. Four drone kills. SHIN has the more efficient army. I mean, look at the... Sorry, MaxPax has the more efficient army. Look at the upgrades. He's got 3-2. The upgrades are crazy. More drones going down. And MaxPax, he can still overwhelm this. SHIN with the surround, but Archons, they come into play. Wow, and MaxPax, I mean, again, 2 base versus whatever SHIN has. MaxPax, he can still pull this off. The gold base is denied. No more mining. SHIN is stuck with Roach Hydra, a subpar army. SHIN is so... He was so close. I'll be honest. That final stasis trap here at the 3rd base may have won MaxPax the game. If it wasn't for that MaxPax, he would have lost like 5 or 6 more Stalkers. And then SHIN may have been able to push into the natural. Like, unironically, the stasis traps, they've been winning MaxPax this game. It's been crazy. Alongside the upgrades, of course, but... Even so... SHIN, he's trying to expand, taking it to Hive. Again, Roach Hydra just doesn't really scale well. Without Lurkers or without Vipers. MaxPax does have the superior army. Even if it wasn't for the upgrades. MaxPax rotating in. And I'll be honest, I think that MaxPax, he can just... Yeah, he can just blink in. At this point, there's just not enough of an army here for SHIN. MaxPax can just fight head on. Stasis goes up, kills the Roach Warren. No more Roaches. Only Ling Hydra. God, the Roaches, they melt. Jesus. And there's just endless stasis traps behind this. Nice space there from SHIN. These Stalkers are exposed. Oh, another stasis goes off though. Again, just non-stop stasis traps. And these are brutal losses for SHIN, losing some of these Hydras. Does get the Archon though. Archon goes down. Ling reinforces have arrived. Can he get another Archon? He can! Uh-oh. MaxPax overextends, losing 3 Archons. Massive pickoffs. GG gets called, and MaxPax, he taps out. SHIN takes the game and takes a lead in the series. GG. Oh my god, a crazy game. Very chaotic. Whew. MaxPax, who was trading well towards the end, did lose far too much though. That was like 3-4 Archons falling. Did bleed out too much, and SHIN eventually overwhelmed, eventually got back into his gold mining, and barely had enough. GG. Oh my god, GG, well played. SHIN, one more game is all he needs to be this week's PiGosaur Monday champion. One more is all he needs. MaxPax, can he force the ace match? Whew. Let's go. Let us go. Can he force the ace match? Full base-ish, because he was like a what, like 47 drones. he was on a 2 base economy with 4 hatcheries. But here we go. We're getting into Snowpiercer for the next game. I think that MaxPax could have won battles that he retreated from. I think there was one specific moment when MaxPax was pushing into the natural that I think he could have been more assertive with, for sure. I think there were some fights that he could have been more assertive with, but in the end, did give SHIN enough time to recover, and here we go. Now we're getting into our next game, Game 4, and spawning in the top right-hand corner, we have the Danish Protoss player, the Red Protoss representing Storm Gaming, down in the series. One more loss and he is out, and the tournament ends. Can he bring it back to the ace match? It is MaxPax. And spawning in the bottom left-hand corner, we have the blue Zerg player from South Korea representing Gaiman Gladiators. It is SHIN. One more game is all he needs. As MaxPax, he is here to deny the expansion, forcing the unnatural natural. Again, we are loading into Snowpiercer. For those that are unaware, Snowpiercer is the largest map in the new map pool. Amongst all the fresh maps, this is the largest. Because of that, we have seen quite a bit of late game on Snowpiercer. Because of that as well, all-ins struggle. It takes a long time to reinforce across the map, to move out. It takes a long time to really be that aggressive and that assertive. But we'll see. We'll see. I could see Swarmhost working. I've been bringing up Swarmhost quite a bit here because we've seen it quite a bit from SHIN, but not in this series yet. Could see it on Snowpiercer. I could see that happening. See in chat, early probe. You do need to set out the probe earlier here on Snowpiercer, otherwise you won't be able to block the expansion. Bear that in mind. Rush distance by ground does impact that. How early or how late you send the probe. So we are going to be settling in. So hatch gas pull out of SHIN. Now his bases are going to be very spread out. As they are much more spread out here on this map. We'll see if MaxPax can take advantage of that, if he does go for earlier adept aggression. If he does commit a little bit harder. Once again, that's going to be a 6-drone follow-up from SHIN. We've seen this before. The goal here is SHIN is going to wait for the adept to move out, and then SHIN will try to slip in and get some probe kills. Here we go. Solo and Swarmhost on ley lines. I'm not too... I feel like ley lines is not the map you want to go Swarmhost on, because ley lines, the bases are close together, and the bases are very defendable as well. I feel like that's the worst map to go Swarmhost on, to be honest. Like, ley lines is like the defensive map. As we do see our 6 Lings. Adept moves out, and Lings, they move in. And can we get any probe kills? MaxPax does pull away. The 6 Lings have arrived, making their way into the main. Likewise, MaxPax gets across over with the Adepts. Boys are pulled. Force off the mineral line. SHIN, can he get one? Up! Up! He can! One probe goes down. He does get one. Link speed kicks in. Can he get 2? Ah, not quite. And doesn't quite get that probe. He wants it, but doesn't quite get it. Nice defense here out of MaxPax. He gets 3 drones across the map, and he loses 1. So a better trade here for the Protoss. Shin was I mean, Shin does force lost mine time, true. There is some lost mine time. Outside of that, Shin backs off. We're going to be droning. We are going to be droning up. Oracles are on the way. What is it to defend? We have 1 Spore and 1 Queen in the main. There's going to be 2 Queens and a Spore at the natural. Third base is exposed. But there's nothing at the third. Oracles, the Spore isn't quite done. And the Oracle gets 1 drone. 1 drone so far. Adepts are being active. Lings, they pop out just in time. And Shinny wants the Adept. He gets it. 1 Adept goes down. Knocks down the other. Very nice catch here from Shin. With this, he can counterattack the third base. For MaxPax is somewhat exposed, but the Oracles, they turn around. They race back home to defend. And MaxPax is going to be safe and sound. Max actually does keep up. Likewise, Oracles, they do dip in between the bases. And so far, Shin, he has minimized his losses. He's lost how many? 4 drones so far. 18 links. Jesus, that's a lot of links. A lot of links have gone down. But he is saturating his bases. He's building up. Soon to be getting a 4th base, and we're working towards the mid game. Likewise, so is MaxPax. MaxPax getting into +1 on Blink. Gateway Explosion. As I mentioned before, this is the largest map in the new map pool, so we expect to see a more standard and more economic start here into the mid game, potentially into the late game. But that is a Gateway Explosion. That's a lot of gateways. That's a 7-gate setup. If MaxPax doesn't take his gases, then he could go for a 3-base all-in. And my eyes are going to be on the gases here of MaxPax. Likewise on the tech as well, to see if he does throw down a Templar Archives. It's an all-in. The probe moves out. He's setting up a pylon. He's going to be setting up a proxy pylon, a gateway as well. It's going to be an 8-gate, 3-base all-in from MaxPax. He's committing, is doing his best hero impression. Shin, does he scout? He does. Does find the probe. Big moment here for Shin. He shuts it down. He does delay the proxy. Backup probe is being sent out. MaxPax, he commits. He commits anyway. Moving out with the second probe, but this is a big deal here. The fact that Shin slows it down. He slows down the all-in. Ling run right towards the north side. There's the pylon, and again, there should be a proxy gateway as well to reinforce. Lings, they do hit the third, but alas, it's side defense. And Shinny gets eyes on the lack of gases. He knows. He knows it's an all-in. What does he have to defend? He has Ling Hydra. He skipped the Roach Warren. Uh-oh. Did skip the Roach Warren. Purely Ling Hydra. This is going to be a much more difficult defense for Shin. Not impossible, but difficult. Reinforcements on the way. And again, it's all or nothing for MaxPax. Either he kills Shin or he dies trying. Shin cunning worker is at less than 70. That's a little bit concerning as well. Overlord's getting caught out. Yeah, I think MaxPax may just have too much. Ling's trying to surround. Stasis traps going off. Oh my god, brutal stasis traps. Hydras are exposed. Hydras are falling. Do you have a couple more things coming in? Not a bad surround. Shinny's holding on. How many stalkers was that? 6. 6 stalkers going down. Stasis trap about to run out. Shinny's holding his own. Collapsing on the stalkers, but there's just so many more behind this. MaxPax, he's thinking about expanding. He's thinking about, yeah, he's transitioning out of this. Gases. He's taking his gases, which means he should expand. He's going to be expanding. Robo's on the way. Charge as well. It looks like MaxPax, he has lost faith in his all-in. He doesn't believe he can kill Shin anymore. I mean, Shin has bought enough time for more Hydras. Shin spreading creep. Delaying the expansion. Even having the wherewithal to go for a counterattack as well. Yeah, Shinny's all over this. will delay the 4th. And he's forcing MaxPax all in, even though he doesn't want to anymore. MaxPax expands towards the south. Oh, the stasis. Oh my god. Stasis almost goes off. Shinny sees the expansion. And Shinny can drone up. I mean, he has been. Now saturating his 4th. He breaks out. Decent stasis. Catches out the Hydras, and MaxPax, he races back home. Now, even though MaxPax is now expanding and now he's trying to transition out of the all-in, his tech is late. Like, he has no setup for Storm or Colossus. Not yet. The Bay is almost done, and he's trying to rush into Colossus production. Without it, though, he's in trouble. So momentum is in favor of Shin. And Shin, he will deny the 4th. Likewise, oh my god, that's a lot of Bailings! Does hit the 4th location. Bailings are headed towards the 3rd. MaxPax does spot them. He will shut them down. At least try to. Show us the force fields. Yeah, it does force field the Bailings. They get behind the middle. They get in! No! They get in! Ooh, probes go down. 15 workers go down. And MaxPax's economy is crippled. Robo's exposed. Going for the Robo as well. Colossus is denied. And Shin, he's snowballing out of control. I mean, again, MaxPax, he was all in earlier, and when you're all in, it's hard to transition out of it. It's hard to get into a normal game. It is difficult, and MaxPax, he's failed to do so. Lost the 3rd, denied the 4th. And Shin is running away with this. It was a bold move from MaxPax to go for the 3-base all-in, but again, remember, it was so important that Shin stored it ahead of time. He scattered ahead of time, he delayed it as well by sniping the first probe. And now we're in this game state where Shin is, he can remax. He can remax, Hive is on the way, Lurker Den as well. MaxPax trying to move out. At the same time, Shin, he gets eyes on the would-be 3rd. Checking for expansions, checking for ninja bases. Denies the 5th. Has a Colossus. He's still in this. MaxPax just trying to make this push happen, trying to make it work, but there's just such a swarm ahead of him. There's a swarm of Zerg. Zelaramai will get into the mineral line, though. Got plenty to defend. MaxPax pushing forward. And Shinny's waiting for his reinforcements. Collapsing on the army. There is one stasis trap behind this. Now a second. Yo, we've seen the power of stasis traps, true. Oh my god. Speaking of MaxPax now reestablishing his expansion. MaxPax does deny the 5th. And Shin just counterattacks. Goes for a counterattack instead. He won't get much done though. Does spot the Colossus. We'll get some hull damage. Now, even though MaxPax is down in supply, he has a comparable army size. The army supplies are actually quite close. It's just the economy that's struggling for MaxPax. Now, without Lurkers, Shin... never mind. He's got Lurkers. Never mind. He's got Lurkers. He's got Vipers. He has a Hive-based army. Lingbane, Hydra Lurker, Viper. Shin is getting into his ideal. Bailing Rumbai gets denied. Nice force fields. Stasis traps behind this as well. Again, so many stasis traps. Oh! Gets the Oracle. Nice snipe on one of the Oracles. Shin is breaking out, taking another expansion. MaxPax is on the road to recovery. I mean, again, that's the power of this kind of army. I mean, geez, 4 Colossus. Oh my god. That's crazy. Now, if MaxPax can snipe, if he can snipe the Vipers, if he can snipe them ahead of time, then MaxPax, he can take a fight. Can take a fight here. That's a big if. Stalkers are spotted. Vipers, I feel like they're playing with fire here. They're a little bit far forward. Oh, but they do get one Colossus. One Colossus goes down. Feedback's coming in. Another Colossus gets caught. Now there's 2 left. 2 Colossus remaining. Vipers, they race back home. Lurkers have arrived. Gets an Archon. Likewise, Zealot run by across the map, trying to shut down some of these expansions. Oh, another Colossus falls as well. Down to one. One Colossus left. Storm is finishing up. Zealot run by delaying reinforcements, forcing back the army. MaxPax achieving a lot with a little here. Shin is maxing out. Oh my god, that's a brutal fight. There's so many Stalkers go down. That was not it. And the third base is still under fire. And it's going to fall as well. And that's the win condition for Shin. Jesus. Is deny the expansion. Is starve MaxPax out. Never allow him to max out. Deny the fourth and the third over and over again. Vipers have NG. They should be going for the Immortals and the Colossus. Oh! They go for the Yoink, but alas, it's not going to be enough. The Colossus does survive. The army was not set up. Shin is going to be rotating. Greater Spires on the way. Oh my god, brutal Storms! Storms, they connect. Again, MaxPax still has the more efficient army. Has more potential here, but pushing into Lurkers, I mean, that's something that this cannot do. Not with this low of an Immortal count. Frenzy on the way, let's go. An upgrade rarely seen. But why not? Meanwhile, Lurkers at home to defend. They shut down the Zealot run by. And Shinny's gaining ground. Is gaining ground at this point. Ooh, takes down most of the ground army as well. GG gets called. There's not enough here, and Shin, he does take it. He does take down MaxPax 3-1, becoming this week's PiGosaur Monday champion. GG. GG, well played. Once again, a very intense series is what I will say. We did not get a single standard game. Even MaxPax spicing it up quite a lot. We saw MaxPax rushing into a carrier rush here in game 1. Here in the final game, we saw MaxPax going for a 3-base all-in with 8 Gate Blink Stalkers. But as a reminder, because he was all in, the moments that he was delayed, things were looking a little bit bleaker for MaxPax. His proxy was delayed. He was also unable to really break through. I mean, he was slowed down, I should say. Lings, they kept going for counterattacks, denying the 4th base, getting into run-bys, forcing defensive warp-ins. And the longer the game went on, the worse it became for MaxPax, until eventually, Shin snowballed out of control. We saw the moment that MaxPax tried to transition, Shin was all over it. He was able to deny the 4th base twice, get into baiting run-bys, and tech up into Hive. Again, that's just kind of the state that you're into when you do commit to an all-in like that. I mean, the same thing happened in game 1, if you remember, with Shin going into a Link-based, Hatch-based all-in, which failed, and then MaxPax snowballed out of control instead. So the final game was kind of like the inverse of game 1. Was the inverse of game 1. GG. GG, well played. And with that, congratulations. So Shin, once again, he takes down MaxPax. Again, they have been going back and forth in recent times. What I will say, though, is that I feel like El Dorado really showcased the power of NG Overcharge. I feel like a lot of people, especially early, I don't think they do it anymore. Nowadays, they sing praises about NG Overcharge, but I think early on, people were really concerned. People were really concerned about losing Shield Battery Overcharge and what NG Overcharge would bring to the table. But I mean, that is a big factor as to just how many stasis traps there were. Not just on El Dorado, but even here in the final game on Snowpiercer as well. We saw that MaxPax, he just had almost like unlimited stasis traps always being available there as he kept going back with the Oracles, using the NG Overcharge, and then coming back into play as well. So he just kept recharging those Oracles, and they gained so much value over time. It was crazy. Oracles, they were already a really important supportive unit for Protoss armies already in the last patch, and now in the PTR we see that they have so much more to provide as well. It's yeah, it's really impressive. I can't wait to see Hero with this. Like, Hero, his bread and butter was like 8-gate all-ins to begin with. Like, his Stalker control and his Oracle control is really intense, and I feel like he will also benefit from this as well. It's really cool to see. regardless, GG well played. Shin does take the series. My condolences to MaxPax. Now MaxPax, he can finally get some sleep, finally get some rest, and we've crowned our champion. We have crowned our champion. Oh boy, I do apologize for misspeaking towards the end there. I think the fatigue is setting in, and I do have to get some food. I'm gonna get some food. I'm probably gonna nap, and later on tonight we have another broadcast. This was only one of 2 broadcasts here today. What are we casting later tonight? The StarCraft Evolution League. SEL. If you're curious, what is the StarCraft Evolution League? That is SC Evo. StarCraft Evolution is a mod that blends together StarCraft 2 and Brood War. The group stage was over the weekend. We were unable to cast it live because we were busy covering the group stage of Firegrow Cup. We were casting Firegrow Cup instead, but that means we have replays to catch up on. So over the course of this week, we're going to be having a replay cast of Group A through to Group D of StarCraft Evolution League. That is the plan. That is the plan, so I do look forward to it. And I'm also going to be dragging Yakuzaku on as well to help cast with me, as he has never casted StarCraft Evolution, and it's honestly just a lot of fun. It is a very fun mod, and I'm excited to introduce him to it. I'm excited. Oh, GG. GG, well played. So that is going to be in how many hours time? 4? I want to say around 4 hours. In around 4 hours time, we're going to be live on the channel with StarCraft Evolution, so do tune into that. I'm probably going to try and nap for like 2 hours or something. I'll try to get some sleep. I'll do my best. Otherwise, thanks so much. Thanks so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed this. Again, this is a weekly tournament. Shout out to Pig and shout out to Stegosaurus for hosting and sponsoring and funding this event. Without them, this event would not be possible. So big shout out to Pig and Stegosaurus. Likewise, we're going to be back next week with the next rendition of the PiGosaur Monday, number 7 or number 8. It's going to be next week. Likewise, throughout the course of this week, we have not just StarCraft Evolution. We have tomorrow Code for Giants Cup, which is a Brazilian-only tournament. And on Thursday, we have Tenacious Turtle Tussle, which is just like this event, but I guess on Wednesday in the Americas, or Thursday for us. Is later on in the week another big open cup, open to all regions, all shapes, all sizes, at around a similar time slot as this event. So we have that on Thursday. So plenty of content to come. We also have the Pondcast and Sparkling Tuna Cup and many other tournaments over the course of the week. So do tune in. We're live multiple times a day, every single day. We have you covered with plenty of StarCraft. With that, I'm gonna go get some rest. I'm gonna go get some food, have a nap, and cast some more. I'll see you guys in 4 hours. Stick around. We're gonna be giving another StarCraft streamer a raid. Who is live? Who is live? Who can we send everyone over to? Let's see. Who is live? Florencio is live. Oh my god. Okay, we could send some people over to Florencio. Who else? Practice X is live. I haven't raided Florencio in a long time. Could give him some love. Give him some love. Patches is live. Let's go. But yeah, stick around to give them a chance, give them some support. Otherwise, we'll see you guys next time, whenever we see you. See you guys next time. If you want to help support us, you can follow us on all the social medias. Oh, I should also pay out the predictions. But you can follow us on all the social medias. Exclamation mark socials in the chats. We have a Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, YouTube, and Discord. All things Cranky Ducklings. And if you want to tune into my personal streams, usually I'd be I'd be streaming right after this, but I have a cast later, so I don't have time to stream next week. I think next week I'll have time to ladder on my personal channel, so you can tune into that if you are interested. I did hit GM this week. Exciting stuff for the first time, but it's like start of season GM, so you know, it's you know, the floor to get into GM is much lower at the moment. But regardless, it's been a lot of fun to ladder once again and get back into StarCraft. So exciting times to come in the upcoming week. Otherwise, see you guys next time. Until then, hasta luego. Ciao, papi, ciao. Hasta luego.